Hey guys, this is Dave with Moniology. Hope everyone is having a great day. Today is Tuesday, September 5th, 2017, and this is a biotech sector review with some of the top names from our watch list using weekly charts. Alrighty, so here we start off with Ocular Therapeutics, OCUL, and again, we look at these charts on daily and hourly time frames as well that help formulate our picture. Of course, in this video, we're looking only at weekly charts, so it's hard to necessarily see always what we're looking at. But why we like this is that RSI is really starting to break out of this base that is built in over the last couple of months. And while MACDs are starting to curl higher on the weekly, and for us, from a weekly standpoint, this is a buy only upon a break of 750. So it might take a little bit of time, but we think that once this breaks, and we think it's well on its way, this is going to make a very nice move towards $12 eventually. Next on the list is OncoSec Medical ONC. Long-term downtrend since 2015, and we think that the probability is ever increasing that this downtrend will be broken sooner rather than later. Why? Well, on the daily chart, it's been building some heavy momentum, very nice accumulation, and while we don't see that necessarily yet, what I do see here is that this downtrend that's happened since July in price and in RSI, well, if you draw this line right here, this downtrend in our opinion is over, and now we're looking to break through that 42 level in the RSI, which is previous resistance, and make ultimately a run for the 50 on the weekly RSI. If that happens, we believe this breaks. But for us, again, not buying here until this breaks this trend line to the upside, but once it does, there's going to be some significant potential upside. OPEXA Therapeutics, OPXA, similar story to the one previously, ONCS, downtrend line that looks to be on the verge of being broken. Why do we say that? Well, first of all, there's a beautiful rounded, beautiful basing pattern here over the last year. Meanwhile, MACDs are at basically their 3-year highs, which is a very bullish development. We're right above 50 on the weekly RSI. We think that that's going to be broken to the upside. And another point of consideration is that, well, previous peak here was at 145. Now our previous peak recently was at 115. Yet RSI has basically matched the peak at 145. That's positive divergence. Positive divergence is very, very valuable piece of information. We think that this is going to break very soon, and when it does, for us it's a buy above that 125 area with much upside ahead if should it occur. OPCO Health, OPK, another one that's had this downtrend, now albeit not as long as several others, but it's been in a downtrend for several months now, and it's finally broken out to the upside. We had a nice hammer pattern. Now we're kind of retesting that from the upside. So long as this holds above 6, this is a solid buy with a price target that's well above $8. Probably would test this 200 EMA around 881. So a lot of upside here, and with a very nice risk reward. Stop loss right below $6 and upside above 8. Next on the list is Organovo Holdings, ONVO. Well, this one is showing some strength on the daily and hourly charts, and we are seeing an uptick in the MACDs here, starting to curl towards 0. This has been some support between that $1.75 and $2 several times prior here on this chart, so no surprise we're seeing some positive price action. But should it break above this weekly middle Bollinger Band around 250, we think that this is going to confirm that this downtrend has ended, and this trend line, which is not drawn here, but if you just extend this line here, this trend line is around that 250 area. Should it break to the upside, that's our buy price trigger, and with a price target of $5. OWC Pharmaceutical RESEARCH, this is one that we own. We like it for fundamental reasons, but from a technical standpoint, we think it's at the very, very tail end of a bullish consolidation, bullish flag correction pattern. Should it hold above this 25 zone, that's very important. We think that it's now basing and now starting to break out of this triangular pattern on low volume. MACDs are starting to curl higher. There's still a lot of accumulation. The money flow is moving in the right direction, and there's a lot of potential upside just from the chart pattern. Break above 30 probably sends, not 30, but break above 50 sends this to probably above $1. So we like the potential upside on this one, and it's a long-term hold in our core portfolio as well as a short-term trade. Pacific Biosciences of California, PACB. Downtrend since 2016. We've had some very nice calls here since the lows just above $3, and we think that if it can break above this downtrend here, then this is likely going to make a run towards that 14 marker. So a lot of upside here, but if you own it, that's fantastic. If you don't own it, buy it with a break above that 622 area. Next on the list is Pertium Corp, TEUM. We like this one. It's got some very, very interesting price action. It had this double bottom with positive divergence, where we had a lower price, but basically we had a same RSI level. That's one type of positive divergence. Beautiful hammer pattern with massive volume. Now we're above the weekly Bollinger Band, and we're consolidating here in this bullish type flag formation. So should this break above that 125 area in the coming weeks, we think it would make a healthy run towards 250. So some significant upside ahead, but it needs to move above that 125 zone to confirm. Paranex Therapeutics, PTX, one that broke out of a massive downtrend since 2015, and it had this nice run up towards 715. Couldn't break above the 50 on the weekly EMA. It's consolidated here right above this trend line, and it's still above it. For us, this is a buy above 250 with a stop loss right below it. So it's one of those nice risk-reward entries, and we think that ultimately this is going to break above this 50 EMA and move towards the $10 zone. But if it breaks below it, you take the loss and you move on. But nice risk-reward potential. We like those sort of plays. Prima Biomed, PBMD, one that looks to be picking up on the daily chart, and this is certainly not a long-term bullish pattern, but on the daily chart we think that there might be some potential to make a run towards this resistance point of around 250. Should $2 break, then 250 is likely, but this is a nice kind of another one of those nice risk reward where you buy at this price point above 160 with a stop loss right below 150. Look, it's not necessarily high conviction here, but definitely one that has a nice bounce potential. Proteolytics Biotherapeuticals, PLX. We really like this pattern here. After a very nice move from 26 all the way to 152, we've had this bullish consolidation. So long as it holds above this 45 to 53 area, then we think that this is going to ultimately resolve itself to the upside and probably break towards the 200 EMA over just under $2. Not yet a buy. Well, actually, this is a buy above 50 with a stop loss probably around 47 to 48, and then kind of see where it goes from there. Next on the list is Proteon Therapeutics, PRTO. Beautiful basing pattern over the last year and a couple months here. MACDs are approaching their 3-year highs, which is a very, very bullish technical pattern. RSI is building strength continuously here in the stair-step pattern, and we think ultimately this is going to make a run towards $2 in the coming weeks, and if that breaks, then there's a huge gap fill, certainly to about that 5 zone, possibly as high as $10. So keep an eye on this one. It's one of our better looking charts in this particular watch list. Psividia, good luck pronouncing that one, PSDV. Like this one, it had this bullish wedge pattern breakout and a couple of hammer patterns. Now we're kind of consolidating. Certainly believe this is going to make a run towards 150, so some short-term upside. For the long-term holders like myself, or traders, this is a buy only upon breakout above 150. If it breaks above 150, then there's some substantial upside, $2, $2.50, possibly as high as about $3.50 to $4 in upside on this one. Finally on our list for today is Pulmatrix at PULM. Beautiful breakout of this bullish flag pattern. We broke out, we've based, then we broke below it. You extend this line down, and basically we kind of retested it from the upside, and now we're finally showing strength. That's coupled with MACD scrolling towards zero. Stochastics are looking strong, and RSI is, I don't want to say firmly, but it's definitely above the 50 on the weekly, which suggests that, and we're also above the middle of Bollinger Band around 233. This suggests that it looks like we're starting to pick up steam and gain some real momentum. Our price target is $6 on this chart. So overall on this list, there are a lot of names that have potential but haven't yet broken out. Others have already broken out and starting new uptrends, like this one here, PULM. This is for due diligence purposes, and keep these on your watch list. Maybe start initiating some positions on some, and others you might want to go long or potentially wait to see some resolution to some of these patterns. Thanks for following us on StockTwits at Moniology, Twitter at Moniology, and please do subscribe on our YouTube channel at Moniology, and please do leave us feedback. Let us know what you think. Thanks, guys, and have a great evening.